turned on Hicks and on his companions, Moses Newsom and Alex Wilson.
Somebody had a brick in his hand, and instead of throwing the brick, because he was too close, he hit Alex Wilson up beside his head with this brick. Of course, Wilson was more than 6 feet tall, an ex-Marine. He went down like a tree.
The mob was getting past the wooden sawhorses because the policemen would no longer fight their own in order to protect us. And so someone made a suggestion that if they allowed the mob to hang one kid, they could then get the rest out. And a gentleman, whom I believe to be an assistant chief of police, said, "How are you going to choose? You're going to let them draw straws." He said, "I'll get them out." And we were taken to the basement of this place. And we were put into 2 cars, grayish blue colored Fords. And the man instructed them, he said, "Once you start driving, do not stop."
The rioting was headline news. The nation and the world saw unmistakably the face of resistance. Finally, President Eisenhower realized he had to act, and he did quickly. That night, he sent in the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division.
An extreme situation has been created in Little Rock. This challenge must be met, and with such measures as will preserve to the people as a whole their lawfully protected rights. If resistance to the federal court order ceases at once, the further presence of federal troops will be unnecessary, and a blot upon the fair name and high honor of our nation in the world will be removed. Mob rule can not be allowed to override the decisions.
I think we as a people need to look back on the history of this country. Now, a lot of people want to say go back to slavery, but you don't have to go back that far. Just a generation or two. Look at the people who sacrificed just to get into battle to fight for the land that they own. Imagine that. You have to fight just to be able to fight for your country. Tuskegee Airmen from Tuskegee, Alabama, laid down the foundation, integrating the military, doing things that no other quote-unquote colored man was doing at the time. Going overseas and fighting and escorting bombers all over Europe. Not losing one, by the way. Being welcomed as heroes in Europe and being ridiculed and killed down here in America. Imagine that power. You're fighting for another country that treats you as a hero. You come home, you're nothing more than a nigger. Country bumpkin, if you will. These generations are gone right now. Long gone. For the men and women who set the foundation for what we have now. Us being our ancestors' wildest dreams. It's not that far back. If you look back in your own personal history, you will see something like maybe something like what I found. Your own history is not a museum piece. It's a person. Mine, my person, my history, if you will. Mr. Mack Henry Hobson, my great uncle, one of the Tuskegee Airmen, and a pilot for Howard Hughes. We never knew things we had to ask our family because you never knew the questions to ask to get the right answers. That generation is gone now. If you find one that's still here, hold on to them. All we can do is set the example on what we need to be for what they fought for. From what they fought for, we are the results. Think about that. That generation fought for black independence, generational wealth, and the ability to fight and die for a country that did not want you around. I salute you, Sergeant Hopkins. I'll try my best.